Welcome back to episode 33 of Teachers in Transition. My name is Kitty Boitnott, and if you've been listening to me for a while now, you know that I try to alternate topics each week between stress management strategies and job search techniques or strategies. And today I want to talk about job search. And specifically, I want to speak to the mindset that a new job seeker or career changer needs to adopt in order to undertake a job search or career change successfully. Now, you hear a lot about mindset these days, and really a mindset is simply a set of beliefs or attitudes that one tends to have about certain things. And unfortunately, a lot of new job seekers or career changers start out thinking that it's going to be quick and easy and that surely they are going to be snapped up by the first potential employer and, everything's going to go smoothly and you get the picture. Unfortunately, it can happen that way, but it rarely happens that way. The truth of the matter is that the job search process is often long, it's often tedious, it can be much like a nightmarish type of roller coaster where you're not having any fun. You're simply going from high to low and up and down and here and there and everywhere. And it's not a lot of fun, frankly. I hate to break it to you in case you're one of the people who've been thinking about undertaking a job change and you think it's going to be easy or quick, because it isn't. It's neither easy nor quick. In fact, the average job search, the last estimate I heard, and it may have gotten longer by now, it used to be 3 to 6 months. Now it's gone to 4 to 9 months, and that's the average, which means that some people do, in fact, find work within 4 months, but it can go as long as 9 months or a year. And frankly, a lot of your success depends on the attitude that you decide to adopt and maintain throughout the job search process. So when I speak to mindset, what I'm really speaking to is the need for a growth mindset, the need for a positive mindset and set of attitudes, a need to be flexible, a need to be adaptable, a need to go with the flow and be okay with the process and not expect too much or to be so set on a certain outcome that you're not open to other opportunities that might come along. Because the fact of the matter is, if you are closed and only looking for certain types of jobs or specific types of opportunities, you may in fact be missing out on some other great opportunities that you just haven't thought about yet, or that you haven't thought to explore, or that you're not even aware might be out there. So when I start working with my clients, the first thing I tell them is that you've got to be willing to play with the possibilities. And I encourage people to adopt a playful attitude in the beginning rather than to be overly serious. Because what I want them to do very often, they come to me, they know they want to make a change. They're ready to start looking for a new line of work. They need to get out of their current position, and they are looking to make a change as quickly as they can. But they don't really know what it is that they're looking for. They know what they're looking to get away from. They're not quite as clear about what they might be interested in doing next. In fact, that's often why they come to me. They feel stuck and uncertain as to what direction to take. So my first encouragement to them is to be willing to be open and playful. Play with all the possibilities. Allow yourself at this particular juncture, before you've committed to anything in particular, be open to the idea of anything can be possible. For the time being, I encourage them not to worry about how they would make something happen, just to consider what type of work would really light them up, would really make them feel eager to get to work on Monday morning instead of dreading it. What are the type of people they'd like to work with? What type of work preference do they have? Do they prefer to work as part of a team where they work with the synergy of, lots of ideas swirling and, and going with the flow of the team? Or do they prefer to work alone? Do they prefer to just have the assignment given to them and they go off and work on the project and turn it in by the deadline because they prefer to work by themselves? I mean, there are different types of people who enjoy different types of work, and you need to be clear about who you are and what you have to offer before you can speak with any kind of confidence to a new potential employer about what you bring to the job that you're applying for. So in the very beginning, the mindset that I would encourage you to adopt is one of playfulness, one of being willing to look at all the various possibilities that are available to you, and then to start to slowly but surely narrow down the possibilities until you have a clear picture of the kind of work you are interested in pursuing. Because that's when you start writing your resume, not before. Too many people think, oh, I'm ready for a job change, so I guess I need to write a resume. If you write a resume before you've decided what you want to do next, you might as well, I liken it to booking your airfare and hotel before you've decided where you want to go on vacation. Now that sounds crazy, right? Nobody would do that. But too often people start writing their resume as the first step. And the problem with doing it that way is that the resume speaks to the previous work you've been doing and isn't focused as much on the future work that you want to be doing. You've got to think about your future self in terms of your employment, not your past. If you write a resume based on your past experience, you can get a similar type job, but if you're looking to make a complete change in your career, you need a different kind of resume. You need a resume that speaks to your specific skills and aptitudes and talents and abilities, as opposed to chronicling all of the work responsibilities you had in your previous job. This is especially important for teachers who want to get out of the teaching world and into the business or nonprofit sector. So you have to think about what it is that you bring to the job, and you have to really study the job description. That's the other thing that I think too many people gloss over. They don't pay close enough attention to what the job description says the company or organization is looking for. And they pick out 3 or 4 things that I could do that. And they apply for the job, and then they never hear back, and they wonder why. Well, it's because they didn't pay attention to all the other requirements that were embedded in the job description, and they wound up not being a viable candidate. They may have even been discarded during the applicant tracking system process. Their application maybe never even made it to a human being. The thing that you've got to remember if you're starting a new job search or you're thinking about changing your career is that the job market is terrifically competitive. That's as true today as it's ever been. Even in a recession, when people are being laid off, there are still people who are working, and those jobs are competitive. You've got to make yourself a competitive candidate. And you have to demonstrate to the future employer why you would be a great candidate in spite of any apparent lack of experience that you may have in the particular field that you're looking to switch into. It is possible for you to do that, but you've got to be open and willing to look at the ways that you make yourself a viable candidate. And all of that requires a growth mindset, one that it admits that you don't know everything, that especially in this realm of job search and career change, it's totally different from what you think it is. It's different from what it was even 5 or 10 years ago. So you may need help. That's the other thing you need to be aware of. It may be that you can't do this by yourself. Whether you hire a coach or find a support group, here in my town, there are support groups for people who are in career transition. And they offer resources, high quality resources, for free. So look for free resources. You can go back to your college or university and use their Alumni Career Center. There's help there for you. You can certainly buy any one of 1,000, 100,000 books that are available. Go to the library, find books about job search. But if you do that, be sure you get something that's current, because a book that was written 10 years ago about the job search process is already out of date. And of course, because I'm a career coach, I recommend that you hire a professional, someone who's helped other people navigate the uncertain waters of the job search process and who have had clients who were successful in figuring out what it is that they want to do next and how to position themselves in the best possible way for those particular jobs. So that's it for today. Be open, adopt a positive attitude, and have a growth mindset if you're ready for a job change or a career change. And until next time, have a great week. Do email me if you have any questions or comments. Subscribe to the podcast and or the YouTube channel, or both. And make sure you leave a comment so that I know whether this information is being useful for you. That's it for now. Have a great week.